This is big. This is very big. You seem like you have a very strong energy right now, young Tip.
You've also been promoting this album for how long now?
Man, since I got out of prison.
Mike.
Now, speaking of promoting the album,
I started when I was in prison.
Yeah, you did.
And last night you went up to Flex. What happened, K Fox, when T.I. went up to see Flex last night?
Well, when you went up to see Flex, it sounded like you had some things on your mind as far as uniting rappers from ATL.
Sure.
And you talked about how, Jeezy was down with it, 2 Chainz, and some other people. But then there were other people that weren't so keen to unite.
Well, let's play the clip so Tip can hear himself the emotion he had last night with Flex. Go ahead.
The key thing in Atlanta not allowing it to come together.
The lack of humble spirits.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of humble spirits. People want too much credit for doing not enough work. You ain't earned the right to stand on the same stage and be considered and acknowledged the same way as I have, because I have done this consistently for 12 years.
What are you talking about right there?
I think I just said it.
Well, who are you talking about specifically about not wanting to come together and sit down at the round table and join forces?
You know what? There's a time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? Last night was the time for me to speak my mind. Right now is a time for me to take my own advice. I'm gonna have a humble spirit right now.
So
was that the wrong answer?
We get nothing.
I'm gonna have a humble spirit right now, and you know why? Because now that I've spoken my mind, now it's time for me to walk that walk that I'm telling everybody else to do. So now I'm gonna congratulate people today.
Okay.
I'm gonna say congratulations, 2 Chainz, man. You turned your whole situation around. I'm gonna say congratulations, Future. I'm gonna say congratulations. I'm gonna say congratulations, Gucci. I'm gonna say congratulations, Jeezy. I'm gonna say congratulations, Rocco. Congratulations, Trinidad James. I'm gonna say congratulations, everybody. Congratulations, everybody. What you're doing, you did it well, and you did it the way it benefited yourself, your family, and the town. Now, everybody, whenever y'all ready to get some money, let's ride.
So we started having the conversation yesterday about gun control. We know from, of course, everything that happened in your past that you're obviously someone who got some enjoyment from guns and having some sort of collection of guns.
See, enjoyment, I had a necessity for.
So it wasn't that. So hold on. So it wasn't that you enjoyed going to the range or shooting or anything like that.
Nah. I shot mine at the time. You know what I mean?
So it was just for protection from threats.
Yeah.
Did you really feel like you needed that amount of artillery? Because one of the issues is, I'm not anti-gun. I feel like if you feel like you need to keep your family safe, and that's what you got to have in your crib, and that's what you got to have.
Even though they don't keep your family safe, statistics show. But continue on.
That's for those who don't know how to use them and know who don't properly store and storage them.
But statistics show that just happens quite a bit.
Statistics show that human beings are naturally irresponsible, but that don't mean you should go along just doing that because that's what statistics show.
No, that's true. That's true.
But on the assault rifle conversation,
okay.
Do you ever feel like there's a necessity to have that much artillery in your home where you're shooting off hundreds and hundreds of rounds?
I understand that.
Because part of the issue that happened in Connecticut was the fact that this person was able to shoot hundreds of rounds at children.
They said six shots a second or something like that.
Right. So I believe in banning assault rifles for civilians.
Understood. See, now, and this is my problem with stepping in right now in the ban of anything. Then, see, what that does is that means only the criminals are going to be allowed to have this particular
because they'll
item.
purchase illegal.
Because right now it's criminals that can't have assault rifles, pistols, fullies, or nothing, and they got them, and they know they can't have them. So you think if they ban them, what, it's gonna be double illegal for me now? I'm still gonna carry mine. See, so if the illegals have them, I think the legals must have them. Because at this point now, it depends on, and the ban of assault rifles and the need or necessity for assault rifle, it depends on the area in the country you are. You know what I mean?
So you believe there's a neighborhood in America
hell yeah.
where it makes sense for you to walk around with an assault rifle or have it in your home?
It don't make sense for you to walk around with it, but it makes sense for you to have it because if you hear that door kick in that front room and you know these people around here, these folk playing with AKs and AR. Now you coming out there, man, you could be, you know what I'm saying, you could be some extra military trained and you can have a standard 40 issue and you can get yours off. But for the most part, man, them folk coming in, they spraying everything, man. 50 rounds in the drum, man. I know how they play because I was playing with them. You know what I'm saying? So if I know that how they playing, then get what? I'm gonna have to play
So
like
what do
that
we
too.
do?
I'm gonna have to be prepared.
So what do you do then for the legal? Then in your mind, would you say make it a much more rigorous process for people to get those weapons? Because in the case of this woman, she had a son who obviously was not well in the head.
I'm saying that the process. I'm saying that the policies and procedures that are now in place, they are in place to protect America from people who look like us. You know what I mean? All of the things, you know, you gotta have if you get one felony and this, that, and the other. But see, all these people going in here doing these massacres ain't no felonies. You know what I'm saying? For the Virginia Tech,
but they're not mentally well.
But wait a minute, hold up.
But you're just saying they're crazy.
But
people.
they're crazy
I'm not
people.
saying they're crazy people. I'm just saying that the people who look like me ain't the ones necessarily to be looked at. Now it's a different enemy in America right now, and you can't you can't just say that because they don't have a felony.
No, I agree. It's not just about that though. What I'm saying
I honestly think that should be just like a not even more higher standards than a driver license. Just like when you go to driver license, you got to take a test. You got to read a book or something. You know what I'm saying?
In some places in America, it's very easy to walk in with a driver's license and get a
I've
gun.
lived in those places in North Carolina, Virginia. Yeah.
Man,
you can go on Target.
I ain't gonna call that. I ain't gonna call that. But I'm just saying, man. When I was 13, 14, man, I was running around with them, and it wasn't nothing to get them.
So the streets, we hear that expression all the time, quote unquote. They say T.I. lost the streets, quote unquote, because when you had your legal situation, you told.
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, man, you know what I'm saying? I go with the G code.
Okay.
And the G code tells us this is in prison and everything. You know what I'm saying? In prison, what they do, we have paperwork parties. You know what I'm saying? In prison, you have cars. A car is like whatever you running with. You know, so because I was in Fed Pen, so it's like everybody moved from everywhere. Everybody sent from everywhere. It ain't like just people from New York or just people from here and there. So the Georgia car, you know, the Georgia crew. When you get there, your crew come to make sure you have everything you need, you know what I'm saying? They speak to you, and then, but you have to produce your paperwork so they will know how to, you know what I'm saying, align themselves with
right,
you.
because if you're a snitch or you told, then you don't get the pass.
Then you don't get something. I mean, it depends on who you are, you know what I'm saying? I've seen people who go in there and show no telling, and they got, and you know, they're like, yeah, and what?
They pay for that, though.
I rock, and what you gonna do? You know, some of them make it and some of them don't. Or I've seen people say, hey, you know what? Look, man, you got to go check in. When they say check in, I mean, you got to go turn yourself into the hole and say, man, I can't walk this compound or else it's not safe for me.
And you're saying T.I. was able to walk the compound?
Man, absolutely, home. I ain't never been in no. When I got in trouble, they put me in said. But I ain't never been in no segregation, man. I always been in gin pop all the time.
So
you know
for the people,
I turned in my paperwork, and when you turn in your paperwork, they look at it. It's called a paperwork party. They look at it on the yard. Everybody get to observe it and whatnot, and they know exactly what to look for. You know what I'm saying? Your court minutes. That means every time you done walked in the courtroom, what you have said, what the judge said, your plea agreement. That means in order for you to get this plea, what it is, you got to come forth with, and they got to submit this stuff. Your docket sheet. You know what I'm saying? All these things. And by the way, anyone who want to have if you want to have a online a Wi-Fi paperwork party, man, my Clifford J. Harry, 594-58-019 is my number.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Guys, I'm a different kind of lost right now.
Serious. I don't have any paperwork.
Party.
Nor
Yeah,
have
you
I
go
ever been on
paperwork
the
party.
yard.
I'll explain it to
And
you,
I
Roland.
walked the compound, both my bids. And if I would have left, and then while I was gone, they found out something funny, and I came back, I walked the compound, both my bids, home.
Yeah.
And I ain't had no I ain't in no gang where nobody just got no reason to protect me. I'm not no Muslim. You know what I'm saying? You know, like for real. This is anyway, back to the G code. The G code clearly states if you don't have overwhelming evidence to where and who am I gonna be able to tell on and they not say in prison right now, T.I. put me here.
Right.
Who is that? Who is that? You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest drug dealers I ever knew was Big Meech. You know what I'm saying? And Big Meech, he said publicly, hey man, I don't know why folks talking about my guy because you know what I'm saying, this is absolutely false and not true and whatever the blase woo. And you know, everybody want to believe that because if they would have got caught in them circumstances, that's what would have happened to them.
That's
and
a shot.
What they
Shots
would have
fired.
done.
Shots fired.
They would have done.
Shots fired.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I stood solid. I'm talking about I can say with a clear conscience and a pure heart that I've never ever had to tell anything on anybody about anything. I don't went and did time. When I went and did time for trap music, in between right after Rubber band, man, that was because they were questioning me about people that I knew, you know, who they were working on investigations on at the time. I didn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Although you seen a picture of me and them when you raided their house, and you seen my name on some paperwork. But get what? I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody.
Yeah,
so they made me sit for that.
Let's move on past this. I'm
solid, home. You can check mine through and through, man.
Hey, listen, if anyone ever
check mine through and through.
If anyone ever say T.I. is a snitch, I'd say he's a horrible snitch because he's done way too much jail time.
Nah, real talk, man. And check my court minutes, my docket sheet, everything. And
then guys, get his docket sheet, please.
And let me check with the technicality. Cause usually when I say this, I put this kind of truth out there, then they try and come sideways with the technicality, which is dry snitching, which means when you go up and you are not involved in a case, but you were a witness and you have the opportunity to point the finger at somebody. When it was involved in my partner Field death in Cincinnati,
that's right.
I was subpoenaed to go to court. I was also out on $3 million federal bond and a pre-trial release where I had to walk around with marshals all the time because they wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna run and jump bond. And so when I was subpoenaed, the federal government knew, so I couldn't just not go. That's a violation of my bond restriction. Then I'm gonna lose my $3 million and my freedom. Now I got to go, and plus my partner mama said she wanted me to go, so I went and I sat up there. And I told the God's honest truth. I looked at that man right there. I said, hey, look, I can't tell anybody whether or not that man was the man who did any shooting because I saw fire and I returned fire. That's all I saw. Yeah. I don't know if it was him or anybody else. That man in prison right now, not because I said he killed my partner, because who was in the car with him said he killed my partner. That ain't got nothing to do with me. His own brothers and partners. That ain't got nothing to do with me. When I got out there, go to the Cincinnati case, check T.I.'s minutes, court minutes, docket sheet, what I said. I don't know if it was him. I don't want to put nobody in prison unnecessarily if I'm not sure, and I can't beyond a doubt say that was the man. Period. That's what I said.
Listen.
I'm sorry, I do have one question about this now. Go ahead. So are you saying that even in the case in which your guy was killed,
in a shootout,
best friend in
best friend in the world was killed, you still wouldn't come out and finger someone for that? It was their own part. That's against the G code to be like, that guy killed my partner.
Because we were shooting too. They shot at us and we shot back.
That's what makes it a violation. Is that you guys know you were both part of the game.
Nah, no.
Now what if
I'm not finna say what I want to say.
Right, I got you. But what if it was a situation? What if it was a situation where it wasn't a shootout like that, but it was a random, unrelated to a business dealings murder of someone?
I don't even know. I ain't speaking to no police about really nothing. The only time I'm going to speak to the police is if probably somebody got my people kidnapped and I can't got no ways of going, nowhere to find out.
Now, if something happened to your children and you wasn't there and you know.
That kind of stuff.
Okay, because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm not a criminal.
You're calling the cops.
I'm calling 911.
Me too.
I'm not a criminal either. And I'm not going to call 911. I'm not going to speak to him. I'm just going to walk off, man.
Listen,
I'm going to walk away from the scene.
Somebody, the little text number, the 911.
911's in my fave.
Whatever you got. If they got apps for it, I'm using that too.